It's 7:40 on a Tuesday evening. You're standing in your bedroom doorway, one hand still on the light switch, coat halfway off. In front of you, a chair wearing 3 days of clothes, a mug going cold on the nightstand, a paper bag from last week that nobody has been brave enough to open. You don't step in. You just stand there in the doorway breathing, and then you turn around and quietly close the door. If you're the kind of person who can hold down a job, keep your friends, meet your deadlines, and still not manage to clear one single table, welcome. You're about to feel very seen. You're not lazy. You've proved that 100 times over in every part of your life that isn't this room. Which makes the room even more humiliating, doesn't it? By the end of this, you're going to understand exactly what's been happening in that doorway. Here's the advice you've heard your whole life. Just clean as you go. Just put it back where you found it. Just do 10 minutes a day. Just stop being lazy. And every single piece of it quietly assumes the same thing about you, that you have the energy and you're refusing to spend it. That the only thing standing between you and a clean home is discipline. But that advice is written for a brain with fuel in the tank. And if you're standing in that doorway, your tank is empty. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Your problem was never willpower. It's arithmetic. Psychologists talk about executive function, which is basically your brain's management department. It plans, it sequences, it holds instructions, it decides. And when that department is running on fumes because of depression, ADHD, burnout, grief, or just a life that's asking too much of you, cleaning stops being a chore and becomes a math problem your brain literally cannot afford to solve. You're not avoiding work. You're avoiding decisions. And those are two completely different things. Now, there's one specific question that every object in that room is asking you, and it's the reason you freeze in the doorway. But we'll come back to that. Because there's an idea from a philosopher, an ancient Greek line about a fox and a hedgehog, and it explains this better than any cleaning tip ever will. The philosopher Isaiah Berlin split thinkers into two types using an old Greek fragment. The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. The fox sees complexity everywhere. The hedgehog runs everything through one central idea. And you, standing in that doorway, are a fox. A brilliant one, actually. You look at that room and you see the whole system that built it. You see the exhaustion, the deadline week, the thing that happened in March. The fox refuses to call you lazy, and the fox is right. But here's the kicker. And this one is aimed at you, not at the people who nag you. Your self-awareness has become the problem. Because once you can explain the mess perfectly, you sit down on the couch and you explain it. Is it the ADHD, the depression, the burnout, the childhood? Suddenly, the explanation is as big and heavy as the room, and now you have two piles: the laundry and everything you know about yourself. And research keeps finding this ugly little link between cluttered space and chronic indecision. Clutter doesn't just follow procrastination, it manufactures it. You have a map. You just can't move. And a map you can't act on is just one more thing lying around the house. But wait, it gets stranger. Because the fix isn't more insight, it's less. But here's what's fascinating. The hedgehog doesn't argue with the fox. It doesn't tell you your pain is fake or your reasons are excuses. It just hands you one rule to carry into the chaos, and the rule is this: stop trying to clean your house. Start building a house that asks you fewer questions. That's the payoff to the question I left hanging. Look at a cluttered dining table and understand what you're actually looking at. Every object on it is asking you something. Where do I go? Do I matter? Will you need me? Am I trash? Am I sentimental? Should you feel guilty about me? A stack of unopened mail isn't paper. It's 10 postponed decisions stapled together, and your brain knows it. That's why looking at it is exhausting. That's why you close the door. And let's be honest about something. The 5 destination trick people share online, trash, laundry, dishes, paper, belongs elsewhere, isn't a cleaning method. It's a decision killer. You're not deciding an object's ultimate destiny in your ideal life. You're just asking which of 5 buckets it falls into. A destination is cheap. A decision is expensive. Your brain is broke. Buy the cheap thing. Notice what happens the moment you do. The pile stops being a philosophical problem and becomes a physical one, and physical problems have ends. Here's something that sounds contradictory. Stop cleaning rooms. Rooms are too abstract, and a 3-hour heroic cleaning marathon will break a tired brain in 20 minutes. Instead, close loops. A loop has a start and a visible end. Not clean the kitchen. Take every visible cup to the sink. Fill 1 trash bag and tie it shut. Clear the seat of 1 chair. Open 5 envelopes. That's it. You are not fixing your life this afternoon. You're buying your brain 1 small pocket of visual quiet, and quiet is what it's been starving for. But there's another layer, and it's the one that stings. Picture this. It's 11:15 on a Sunday night. The dishwasher is humming, the counter is clear, and for 1 hour, your kitchen is completely silent. Nothing on that counter is asking you anything. You stand there with a glass of water and you feel something you'd almost forgotten, which is that your own home can be a place you rest in instead of a place you owe something to. That feeling isn't about cleanliness. It's about being left alone by your own furniture. And this next part explains so much about why you and the tidy people in your life keep talking past each other. Because they think shame is fuel. Your partner thinks it. Your mother thinks it. Your own inner critic definitely thinks it. But when someone tells you that you have to clean up right now, something in you goes rigid. Psychologists call it reactance, and it's just the hardwired human refusal to be pushed. A command creates resistance. A choice creates movement. So even when it's your own voice barking the order, you freeze. Which means the kindest thing you can do for yourself and for anyone you live with is to stop issuing orders and start offering options. Trash first or dishes first? That tiny bit of choice is often the whole difference between a closed door and an open one. Which raises an uncomfortable question about that closed door. What is it actually protecting? Because sometimes the mess isn't a decision problem at all. Sometimes that room is the only place in your life where nothing is asked of you. And you keep it exactly as it is, because tidying it would mean admitting how long you've been struggling. The clutter becomes a wall, and behind the wall you don't have to be seen. It's both a shelter and a cell. So here's the honest question. Is your mess active or is it abandoned? Creative mess is a project you're still inside of. Paralyzing mess is a project you walked away from. One of them is alive. The other is avoidance wearing the costume of a life. The goal was never a magazine home. Disorder actually helps some people think, so don't banish your clutter. Just give the living mess a boundary, a desk, a bin, a shelf, and let the rest go quiet. And here's the frame to keep. The fox tells you why you're stuck. The hedgehog gets you moving. Ask 2 things at the doorway. Which 5 buckets does this fall into? And what is the smallest loop I can close right now? That's the whole method. That's the entire thing. You're not lazy. You're overloaded, and you've been trying to solve an energy problem with guilt. So don't clean the room tonight. Just make it ask you one less question, then let that be enough.